just when Marcus and I found the listing, it felt too good to be true. A sprawling countryside manor for a fraction of the market price. We thought we'd stumbled into a dream. The air had a weight to it, like walking through water. The silence was thick, pressing against my ears until my own breath sounded intrusive. Marcus, ever the realist, dismissed it all. It had ivy-covered walls, stained glass windows, a wrought iron gate that squealed like it hadn't been touched in decades. I should have listened to that gate, my name. From the moment we stepped inside, something felt wrong. Old houses creak. Han, that's what they do. But that first night, I heard it, a whisper, soft, like a breath in my ear. Unpacking was simple. We had few things, and the house had more than enough space. Still, I couldn't shake the sense that we weren't alone. As I arranged dishes in the kitchen, I heard the unmistakable sound of a child's giggle. Marcus, I called, but he was outside checking the fuse box. I climbed the stairs slowly, each step grown beneath me. The hallway above was colder, unnaturally so. I stopped in front of the room at the far end, a door with peeling red paint and a tarnished brass knob. It was locked. Behind it, I could have sworn I heard breathing. The rain came heavy that night, rattling the windows and filling the house with the rhythmic tap of falling water. I woke around 3 a.m. to the sound of someone breathing beside me. Marcus. Except he wasn't asleep. He was sitting upright, staring at the wall. "Do you hear it?" he whispered. "Hear what?" He turned to me, his face blank. "Nothing. Go back to sleep." But I heard it then. The wall, our bedroom wall, was breathing slowly in and out. The next morning, something drew me to the attic. Found it hidden beneath loose floorboards, a leather-bound journal. Its pages were brittle, the handwriting frantic. First entry was dated 1972. "My name is Elise. This house is not what it seems." The final entry was a warning. "Don't trust the one you love. He's part of it now. He wears my husband's face, but he is not him." My hands trembled as I turned the pages. The red door remained locked, but that morning I found a brass key in the garden. Buried beneath the rose bush, every window was dark, as if the building was watching me. When I picked it up, I heard a voice whisper, "Don't." I turned toward the house. That night, I dreamed of drowning. Marcus made coffee like nothing was wrong. "You slept so late," he said. "For our walk, I figured you needed the rest." I blinked. "What walk?" He laughed, but there was tension in it. "Yesterday, we walked by the woods. You don't remember?" I didn't. Not even a flicker. But later, I checked his phone. Photos. US hand in hand by the trees. Me smiling, eyes are vacant. Alone, my hands were covered in dirt. And then the final picture, me asleep on the porch swing. It was always the same hallway. No matter the time of day, it stayed colder than any other part of the house. I even checked the fence. Nothing. That's when I heard the voice again. Not in my ears, inside my skull. One afternoon, I stood there with my arms crossed, watching my breath cloud the air. This is where I died. I stumbled back, heart racing, and ran to the master bedroom. Marcus was there, calmly brushing his teeth, whizzing. There was something wrong with the mirrors. It started small reflections a second behind reality. Then came the warping. In the guest bathroom, I caught a flash of something behind me. A woman, pale skin, long black hair, wearing my nightgown. When I turned, no one. But when I looked back, the mirror had cracked, a single line across the glass like it had been hit by a whisper. It was just past midnight when I woke to Marcus's voice. I followed it barefoot into the basement. He stood with his back to me, murmuring to someone or something in the dark. I couldn't make out the words until I stepped closer. "Yes, she's almost ready." "No, she doesn't know yet. She looks just like her." My breath caught. My foot creaked on the stairs. He turned calmly. "Just talking to myself," he said, smiling, but I saw his shadow on the wall, and it wasn't moving with him. That morning, I found something hard beneath my pillow, a nail, no, a tooth, human. Blood was soaked into the fabric. Marcus acted shocked, said I must have rolled over on it, maybe it was from me, but it wasn't. I checked my mouth in the mirror, every tooth accounted for. Then, I looked down at the sink, another tooth resting in the drain. They were no longer soft. The whispers came louder now, overlapping and chaotic. Male and female, young and old, they spoke of hunger, of longing, of death. I sat in the hallway and pressed my hands over my ears, but the voices were inside me, 1,000 fragmented sentences rattling in my skull. She doesn't belong, she took her place, she must remember. When Marcus walked past, the voices silenced instantly. I woke outside, barefoot in a nightgown, standing at the edge of the woods. My feet were muddy, my hands ached. Marcus found me and brought me back in without a word. Later that day, he showed me footage from the security cam he'd installed. It showed me at 3:03 a.m. digging something in the garden. Watched myself smile at the camera, an unfamiliar smile. Then the screen glitched. I went back to the attic. The journal was gone, but in its place, scattered beneath the floorboards, were letters, dozens. He'll make her stay, all written in the same frantic hand. He followed me into the dream. He loves me still. That's the problem if she doesn't leave. One envelope was addressed to me. Hannah, you are me, and you always have been. It was there when I woke. A small handprint on the hallway wall just outside the locked red door. Child-sized, deep red. I tried to scrub it off, but the stain only spread. Marcus walked past me without looking. I asked if he saw it. He said, "What handprint?" When I turned back to it, it was gone. The key worked. The lock clicked open like it had been waiting. Inside was a child's bedroom. Dusty, untouched, dolls on a shelf, a music box on a dresser, a crib in the corner, its bars splintered. I stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind me. The music box began to play. The doll's eyes followed me. Every time I moved, they seemed to turn. One blinked. I could swear it did. I picked one up. It was heavier than it should have been. When I turned it over, I found something stuffed inside, a photograph of me asleep in the red room. At night, Marcus sat on the edge of the bed. "I think I've been here before," he said. "Not just here. This house, in another life." He looked at me with eyes I barely recognized. "You're not Hannah. You're Elise. You came back." I backed away slowly. He didn't follow. I followed a draft behind the closet in the red room. Behind the wall was a hidden staircase. Steep and narrow, it led to a secret chamber underground. Hundreds of names crossed out. All but one. The walls were covered in writing. Hannah Morgan. In the chamber was a cradle. Inside it, a decayed bundle of fabric. When I touched it, I saw flashes, memories that weren't mine. Screaming, fire, a man's voice chanting, a child crying. I stumbled back, gasping from the cradle, a whisper. "Finish what she started." Beneath a stone slab in the floor, I found an old book. Rituals, incantations, offerings. The final page was marked with dried blood. To bind the soul, the vessel must be willing or broken. I heard footsteps behind me. Marcus, he smiled. "Now you know." Marcus stepped into the room with the book still in my hands. "It's almost time," he said. My mouth went dry. "For what?" He tilted his head, eyes unfocused. "The house chose you. It always chooses the soul that remembers. You remembered. Elise did, too." I backed toward the stairs. "I'm not Elise," he smiled. "You are now." That night, the house groaned like it was waking up. Walls stretched, floorboards breathed. I dreamed flames licked the ceiling, the same dream Elise wrote about. I saw myself, Elise, running with a child in her arms. A shadow followed us. I woke up to the scent of smoke, but there was no fire, just Marcus sitting in the corner, whispering to the walls. Back in the hidden room, I examined the names again. Some were scratched out violently, others faint, but there, below my name, a fresh one had appeared. Marcus Morgan, still alive. But not for long. I looked at the ink. It was still wet. I read the instructions aloud. To sever the tether, she must confront her reflection. I stood before the largest mirror in the house. Lit candles surrounded me. I whispered the incantation. The mirror shivered, and the reflection moved on its own. It smiled her smile. "Elise, you took too long," she said. "Now we share this body." I found Marcus in the red room, rocking an empty cradle. "We were happy," he mumbled. "She loved me before the house wanted her." He looked up, eyes wild. "But it always takes what it wants. And now it wants you." He grabbed my wrist. I pulled away. "Hard. It already has you too," I whispered. That night, she fully came through, in the mirror, in my head, in my voice. I died here, but not completely. The house needed someone to hold me. "You were the key, my key," I screamed. But it was her scream that echoed, and the walls answered. That night, she fully came through in the mirror, in my head, in my voice. I died here, but not completely. The house needed someone to hold me. You were the key, my key. I screamed, but it was her scream that echoed, and the walls answered. Kill the vessel, the book read, or become the guardian. The vessel, Marcus, or maybe me. I held the blade, shaking. Behind me, his footsteps, his voice. It's okay. You were never supposed to leave. I turned. I lit every candle in the chamber, recited the rite in Elise's words. The house screamed. Marcus lunged. I drove the blade into the floor. Fire erupted. The cradle burned. The mirror shattered. His scream echoed with 100 others, then silence.
I woke up on the porch swing. The sun was rising. The gate creaked open. No Marcus, no voices. Just me in the house, now still. Inside, everything was back in place except for the red door. Waiting, it was open and a whisper. Welcome home.